all the big four recruit from us. We have Deloitte, KPMG, EY, PwC. We have e-commerce companies like Amazon and Walmart who recruit from us. Leading banks recruit from us. Then we have FMCG companies like Marico who recruit from us.
When I was going through the placement brochure, as it is located in Hyderabad, a lot of finance companies come into play, and the roles that they were offering were of my interest, be it a role of equity research or a consultant role or a role in finance and operations. So that is something that interested me.
And that is even to the aspirants, when I meet aspirants, one thing that I tell them very often is that don't just look at the average and the highest CTC of an institute while selecting a B school. Also look at things like number of offers per company. Ask them this question, nobody will disclose it, no institute would like to disclose it, number of offers per company. All the big four recruit from us. We have Deloitte, KPMG, EY, PwC. We have e-commerce companies like Amazon and Walmart who recruit from us. Leading banks recruit from us. Then we have FMCG companies like Marico who recruit from us. So these are some of the brands, and we have consciously approached them so that it represents all the sectors. So IMT Hyderabad had startups like Bareproof.com, like Digit Insurance, like Admit Card, like EduFund. So we had a lot of startups in the last 2 years which hired from IMT Hyderabad. And one interesting fact that I would like to mention here is some students, they chose startups. We had double offer, we had dual offer policy. So some students chose startups over conventional companies.
During internship, we can see a lot of startups coming in because they require interns, they require enthusiastic people who work there. But as far as final placements are concerned, a lot of reputed big four companies, all the big IT companies and all the big companies are coming in for the final placements. But for internship, you can say that a lot of startups are coming in.
Most of the companies, they come for finance, marketing and operations oriented role because our college, we feel, is strong in these domains. So where companies majority come for these roles.
So last year was in fact a year which went very good for placements at IMT Hyderabad, and we added recruiters like Bain & Company, Cognizant, EY, HCL and so on to our list of existing recruiters. So one remarkable thing that we did was that we introduced a dual offer policy. So IMT Hyderabad, unlike some other B schools which have a single offer policy, we have up to 2 offers is what the students can take. We have a dual offer policy. So we had 198 students and we had 233 offers. So that was the kind of success that we were able to reach. And of course the success was not overnight. It took, I am there into the system for nearly 5 years, so it took us a long time. And of course that COVID break happened when the COVID year 2020 and 21 were not so good, but 22 we were able to make up, and we, in terms of figures, we had a highest salary of 23.5 lakhs per annum. We had an average salary close to 10 lakhs per annum and a median close to 9 lakhs per annum.
If I'm talking about the academics and what I've learned here, there are different methods of learning that has helped a lot. Like the curriculum itself is very diverse. It's not that I'm only learning finance. I never had interest in operations, but I took up operations because of the faculty and the curriculum. Then there's case-based pedagogy where we learn through case, so that also helps a lot. Then various interactive alumni sessions also keeps on happening. And one thing that helps a lot in studying is a diverse set of students. Like students in our batch are from 25 different states. So in turn, you learn something or the other from every batchmate. In the 2 years, I've learned enough in my domain knowledge that I'm going for a company. I can be very much well assured that what I've learned is enough.
The thing is, first year we will be exposed to every domain where we will be having basic knowledge of all domains. And then second year comes where we take up our specialization. And when it comes to any specialization for that matter in this college, as he said, academic part is one part where, again, as I said, it's not just about book learning or academic learning. That is the difference between a B school and another college. So they conduct practitioner sessions where they invite actual practitioners so that they can give their knowledge on how the dynamics work in the industry and in the corporate. And then the faculty team, they are very strong and they give quality input to students that they equip us in class while teaching and giving examples in corporate such a way that when we go out, we are having a knowledge about that priorly. One more thing which I wanted to point out is the project based learning, where in every course, in every term, so we have to do a project towards the end of the course. So that project, whatever we have applied, for example, you take a subject of security analysis or something like that, where at the end of the term you do a valuation project where you actually take a company, you see how their sector analysis, you do the industry analysis, you actually project the cash flow, do the valuation part and give your recommendation. So this learning, apart from your academic learning, boosts you, okay, how this is how practically companies are being valued and this is how industry analysts are looking at the companies.
See, first of all, I'd like to tell the difference in the challenges that I had when I was working with IMT Ghaziabad and Hyderabad. So one is, of course, with IMT Ghaziabad, there was already this set of recruiters. They already had a highest salary and average salary and so on. So the challenge at IMT Hyderabad was to add more recruiters, increase the average salary, highest salary and so on, and things like adding international recruiters and so on. Whereas with IMT Hyderabad, it's like a startup where when I joined it was I think 6 or 7 years old, and so we had to basically start from adding the recruiters who are there, and that is where we kind of brought in let's say people like Big Four. All the Big Four hire from us. We have Deloitte, KPMG, EY, PwC who hire from us, bringing in the Big Four, bringing in companies like Amazon, Walmart, Goldman Sachs and so on to hire from IMT Hyderabad. So that was the biggest challenge, but that is again where my relations with the previous relations with these recruiters came in handy. And one thing I would like to also, one interesting thing that I would like to tell is, of course, it's very important that you prepare the students. What is not just important is to bring companies, because unless the students are prepared and unless they crack the interview process, it's like a waste. I mean, the company may come and not hire anyone. When I meet aspirants, one thing that I tell them very often is that don't just look at the average and the highest CTC of an institute while selecting a B school. Also look at things like number of offers per company. Ask them this question. Nobody will disclose it. No institute would like to disclose it. Number of offers per company. So that shows, is the company which is coming, is it really hiring? Is the efforts of the institute and the students translating? So we have a number of offers per company is somewhere close to 4, which is a very good figure. When I joined, it was somewhere close to 1.48. So that is another area where we collectively try to put in a lot of efforts in training students, making them ready to face interviews and so on. So this is how we could kind of bring up in the last few years the IMT Hyderabad placement figures.
This is a thing where our college has partnered with expert training professionals. So where they give unique one-on-one sessions to crack interviews, CV building sessions and other knowledge sessions. So that is one good initiative where it actually added value to us, like because we won't be knowing the current industry dynamics, but whereas experts from that industry, they'll be able to give us inputs. They arrange alumni sessions and other industry expert sessions before any major company or role comes, because it's like that you should be aware of what the company is expecting and what the role is and how. This is for particular placement process I'm telling. Suppose XYZ company is coming tomorrow, they arrange a session specifically for that role in the company.
There was a place we underwent a whole entire placement training session. So there we were given training on aptitude test, we were taking mock interviews. So being a fresher, if somebody, an industry expert is taking my interview session and pointing out all my mistakes, that I should not say this in an interview, this is my weak point, I should not highlight it, this is my strength and I should highlight it more, this is my internship and I should put it in a way that it helps me in scoring my final placements. So all those training that we received, it was 1 month long training, I would say. So it helped us cracking our final placement interviews. One major difference that I would say from the placement of last year to this year is we definitely saw a hike in the placement. We saw a definite hike in the numbers. Next is a lot of IT companies are coming in this year for placements, and the roles that were offered last year are very different from the roles that were offered this year. This year a lot of operation related roles, a lot of finance related roles. The numbers have increased. When I was searching for my B schools, there were a lot of options, right? So 2 major factors that I chose IMT Hyderabad was, firstly the location. As we know, Hyderabad is a growing city, so the number of opportunities are endless. Secondly, I was getting the brand of IMT, which is again very good. When I was going through the placement brochure, as it is located in Hyderabad, a lot of finance companies come into play, and the roles that they were offering were of my interest, be it a role of equity research or a consultant role or a role in finance and operations. So that is something that interested me, and I was like, this aligns with the domain that I want to specialize in. Why not go for it?
Placements, brochures, anything. Placement is not the only factor. So that is one of the major factors, of course. So apart from a point, one big point which I noticed is the batch diversity. So batch diversity is something which I actually felt is very important. So you have here people from various backgrounds, not concentrated towards one particular background. And also the work experience, like I have prior experience, so I can add value to my peers, I can learn from peers. So that is one thing. And also, the strength of the students also matters to my knowledge. So what I regard is a college with a strength of around 400-500 students, you will also be able to learn out of it, and there will be attention. Whereas colleges where there are more than 1,000-2,000 students, I was not interested to go to that type of college. So that was one of the factors which I had in mind while joining this college.
The MBA has been evergreen. I have, so basically right from the time of when I did my college in 1990, when I did my engineering, MBA has been the in thing. The advice that I have to students is that you need to look at not just your first job that you get after MBA. So we talked of ROI, yes, that is very important, but ROI is not just the first job. You look at it as your career, because you would be making a career out of it. Students come to me and say, should I take finance specialization, should I take marketing in the second year, because the first year is common and so on. So that is where I constantly advise them, do what you are best at.